Hey there, thanks so much for stopping by. It's almost that time of year where Japan is full bloom in pink, and I am of course talking about the Sakura season. That is definitely one of the things that Japan is well known for around the world. If you're not too familiar with Sakura, they're basically the Japanese word for cherry blossoms. And Japan's cherry blossoms in particular are quite distinct compared to other cherry blossoms, and because it's the unofficial national flower of Japan, they pull out all the stops during the months of early springtime because that's when the sakura comes out. You'll see rows and rows of pink and white blossoms, and it spreads throughout the entire country. It is an absolutely gorgeous sight to behold. It's like one of the natural wonders of the world, and it's really hard to believe that something so beautiful can last for a really short amount of time, and we're talking about 1 or 2 weeks at most, and so it really does feel like a limited time experience. Big emphasis on the limited time. Sakura and springtime in Japan kind of go hand in hand because they're basically happening around the same time. When you start to see the sakura buds pop out of the branches, it's a big sign that spring is on its way. So because of that, a lot of people associate sakura with the idea of a new season or a new beginning, and that's the reason why a lot of schools start their year in the springtime, because that's when the sakura season is in bloom, and it's a great way to, get into the concept of new beginnings, new time of year. And as is the case with sakura season, Japan goes full out pink during this time, as in there's merch, there's goods, there's food and snacks. You can think of almost anything, and I'm pretty sure that they have made some sort of sakura design, and that definitely includes the Tokyo Disney parks and as well as the Japan Disney store, which is what we'll be going through in this video today. I will be sharing with you the sakura merchandise that will be available at Tokyo Disney Resort, followed up by the sakura merchandise that will be in the Disney stores in Japan. And we'll be doing this in a Browse With Me fashion, in which we'll be going through the lineup of the merchandise that have been released as information on their respective websites, and you'll also be able to see how much they go for, that is the retail price of each of these items. And as it is usually the case with these kinds of videos, I will be picking out a handful of the merchandise in which I will be sharing with you some unique points that would otherwise be lost in the language, because the only language on the packaging is Japanese. And I'll probably also be sharing with you some items that maybe are quite unique to the lineup this year, or that are not common, as in not commonly found either for the Sakura season merchandise, or are quite new as a concept or as a theme or that sort of thing. And before we head on over into the merchandise overview, I do want to give a quick disclaimer that I am not going to be sponsoring or recommending any pickup service of that sort, because I don't really need to use those services. I buy things myself or I purchase it locally, so I really have no need to use any of those types of services, so I won't be recommending or sponsoring those kind of things. This video is purely for informational purposes, so I hope you'll understand. Oh, by the way, I'll be using the word sakura to refer to the concept of cherry blossom, because I believe that sakura is uniquely Japanese, distinctly referring to the cherry blossoms that you find in Japan. I myself had a cherry tree growing up in my own backyard, and their blossoms were more round, and the Japanese cherry blossoms are a lot pointier, more star-shaped than anything. And they also have a very distinct smell to them. It's like a very subtle, sweet, not overly sweet like sugary, but I really don't know how to describe it because it's so unique. If you ever get the chance to stop by a food stall or a shop that sells sakura flavored things, you'll see what I mean when I talk about the scent of the sakura, or even the taste of the sakura. And honestly, it's just so much easier to say sakura than cherry blossoms. And with that, let's begin with the sakura merchandise of Tokyo Disney Resort. Because it's Sakura, you'll notice that a lot of the color schemes or the color palettes will revolve around pink. It is a very, very pink season, and that is also reflected in much of the merchandise. And like last year or many years previously, they're also going to be releasing plushes of Mickey and Minnie once again. They are the mascots of Tokyo Disney Resort. It's a little different compared to last year's because there's like hints of blue, there's splashes of very, very light blue mixed in with the pinkness of the Sakura, and I think that's quite nice. It's a nice complement to make it more than like one-dimensional or two-dimensional. Last year, they released Mickey and Minnie and Donald and Daisy. But if you saw the Donald and Daisy Sakura plush, let's just say we don't really talk about Donald and Daisy. They looked a little... I don't really want to say, I mean, Donald, look, like Donald is my bias. He's my favorite character among the Fab Five or Sensational Six, but when I saw him released as Sakura plush, I just, oh no. No. And I'm kind of pleased that they didn't repeat that. I believe it didn't really sell well, and so it's not really a big surprise to see that they didn't come back for this year's merchandise lineup. Last year, the main art concept featured two characters, Minnie and Daisy. This year, Daisy is replaced with Figaro, which is sometimes depicted as Minnie's cat. They have a little slogan that sometimes appears on some of the merchandise, and it's called Sakura Sway. What you'll see here is a magnet featuring the main characters of this year's concept, Minnie and Figaro. Moving on is this tissue box cover. I started getting into tissue box covers for some reason. Oh, it would be really nice to deck out my tissue boxes in one way or another. I guess that's how you know you're kind of growing up. I think this is an especially adorable design. The blue brings out a lot of the different colors of the Sakura, makes it pop all the more. I think that's really cute. This is a hand cream, and obviously it is Sakura scented. If you love the scent of Sakura as much as I do, you kind of go crazy with the hand creams and the lotions and stuff. So there's something so soothing about it. It's not as tart as the smell of cherry, and it's not as strong as, like, let's say vanilla or rose. It's like a mix between those three. I've actually been using a Sakura scented perfume since last year, and I got this in the middle of the year, like summer. It's something that you can kind of buy all year round now. It's not limited to the Sakura season, but it's especially quite nice when it comes out during the Sakura season because everything around you is in full bloom, and you do get that scent everywhere you go, almost. So it's kind of nice to be able to carry that around with you, especially in that time of year. Can we just talk about how totally gorgeous these hairpins are? And we're not just going to limit it to the hairpins because there's also jewelry. So beautiful. The fact that they incorporated a lot of the pink and the white into their jewelry line, that's especially quite lovely. So these are the hairpins, and I believe it's a set of 3. Each pin has a different design. The top one has Minnie, and just Minnie, and she is dancing around doing her sway thing. In the middle pin, you have her and her little kitty Figaro, and they have a little chain that's dangling under them, and there are little pearls that are scattered throughout that chain. And on the last pin is just Figaro himself, and he is hanging off a set of sakura petals or sakura flowers. What I really like about this is that they have completely different designs. So like maybe one day you're feeling more pinkish, so you'll just be wearing the top pin, and maybe another day when you're more decked out in lighter colors, you'll go for the middle pin, and if you just want to give a nod to like a Disney kitty, you go for the last pin. It's really nice to just switch it up, or you can like combine all 3. You can be quite versatile with this set of 3 pins. Oh my goodness. I personally don't collect Minnie merchandise or have anything of Minnie really. I don't even wear a lot of jewelry. And I am not a cat person, but even I will admit that these earrings and this concept and this design, this style, everything about it is just beautiful. The pink is more stark here. It's a much more like orangey shade as opposed to light pink. They're as lovely as the hairpins. If you can combine that set, you would be pretty much set to go like to one of those Sakura viewing parties. You would plant yourself a picnic sheet under the Sakura blossoms and you would just have a good time chatting, sharing some finger foods and the drinking. There is a culture of drinking that comes with the Sakura viewing parties. The Sakura viewing parties are really another reason for people to drink. There are only 2 food items that will be available for this particular lineup, and the first one we'll be going through are these cookies. You can see that there are 2 different types of cookies. One is pink and the other is plain, and obviously the pink one is Sakura flavored. The non-pink one, a plain cookie, like a butter cookie. There are 14 pieces of hard candy in this container. 7 of them are pink, which are Sakura flavored, and the other 7 is a more whitish color and it is Sakura milk flavored. It's a more subtle version or flavor of the pink Sakura one. Think of it like strawberry milk. You know how strawberry milk is not as tart as, let's say, a strawberry drink? So Sakura milk hard candy is not meant to be as strongly flavored as the pink Sakura candy. And that pretty much wraps up the Sakura merchandise lineup for Tokyo Disney Resort. I'm not exactly sure why they didn't bring out a lot more stuff, but let's check out the Disney store now. They have a lot more stuff released compared to that of the Tokyo Disney parks. And we'll start off by looking through all the available merchandise in this lineup. You've probably noticed that aside from Mickey and Minnie, the other featured character for the Sakura merchandise at Disney Store is none other than Winnie the Pooh. Pooh Bear is super pink. Pooh Bear is blooming in all his pink glory here. There is actually more Pooh Bear merchandise than the mice. If you're a Pooh fan and you really appreciate the Sakura concept, this merchandise line is for you. The first item we'll be checking out is this like ring holder for your smartphone or cell phone. I just want to point out with how adorable it is, even though it's quite simple. The shape is that of the Sakura flower, of course. In the middle is a picture of Mickey and Minnie. Attached to that is the ring, and I really like that there are 3 different sized Sakuras that are surrounding the ring. The ring is movable, so you can turn it this way and that. And I do like that there is glitter in the pink petals of the larger Sakura. This is what the Japanese call a noren. I would say the closest equivalent term in English would be like cloth cover, because that's essentially what its purpose is. It's a cloth and it's meant to cover up things. So this is the kind of thing you would like hang on your door frame, or if you have a shelf and you want to hide the contents, you would hang it on the shelf frame. And this noren comes with 2 sheets. One side is of Piglet and the other side is of Pooh. This is a pen case, and more accurately, this is a pen case stand. You can see that in this picture that the pen case is actually standing upright as opposed to, you know, lying flat. And this one is of Pooh Bear, and it's Pooh Bear only. There is no Minnie or Mickey design. And because it is part of the Sakura merchandise, you can see some designs of Sakura painted onto the body of the pen case stand. And let's go through a little bit of the explanation and how to use this pen case stand. So there is a zipper. So what you would do is open up the zipper, and you can see that there is like a nub at the base of the pen case. You would push down onto it, and pushing down on it essentially would push up all the pens that are inside the case, and that also creates more access to the pens that are inside that case, because you'll be able to see all the materials that are inside the case from a standing up point of view sort of thing. And this claims to be able to hold 15 pens, or writing utensils. When you want to close it up again, all you do is take the nub from the bottom of the base. You would pull that out to revert it back to its original position, essentially, and you would zip it back up, and that's it. Otherwise, if you don't do that, the pens will still be sticking out high up, and that would be blocking the top of the pen case and making it difficult to zip it back up again. So essentially what you're doing is popping the nub in and out. I never thought I would be giving a lesson on how to use a pen case stand, but here we are. So let's move on to this pencil. This pencil is fancy in the sense that it comes in its own paper wrapping, and it has one of those little knots in the middle, and that's supposed to signify that it's a special ceremony of some sort. When you see that knot, it would be in celebration of, like, let's say a graduation ceremony, or someone's retiring, or a wedding even. So this is meant to be like a sort of congratulatory thing. What's special about this pencil is not only the fact that it's in this special wrapping paper, it's also Sakura shaped, as in the shape of the pencil itself is in the shape of a sakura blossom. Here we have a portable tote bag, and it features Pooh and Piglet. There's two different designs on the front and the back. This is the front side, or the back side, however you want to call it, and this is the other side where they're just looking at each other quite adorably. And the inside of the bag is insulated, so it's suitable for keeping things warm or cool. And what I meant by it being portable is that you're able to fold up this bag and zip it up into this small square shape, so you can tuck it into any one of your other bags and carry it around very easily with you. We can't talk about Disney Sakura merchandise without talking about the plush. And the plush for the Disney store is quite different compared to the ones we saw at the Tokyo Disney Resort. Mickey and Minnie are decked out in clothing. Here, they're full-on decked out, and it's very Japanese, and they have matching patterns of Sakura. For Mickey, it's in his pants, and for Minnie, it's really her entire kimono. I felt like I had to point this out because it is so unusual, and it's amazing to see them in this type of fashion. They also have smaller keychain versions of these plush. These are the medium-sized plush, so you have two options should you become interested in wanting to get yourselves one of these Japanese traditional clothing Sakura themed Mickey and Minnie plush. And because the other featured character for this lineup is Pooh Bear, naturally there is plush of him. He has a lot more plush sizes available. There's a keychain plush, and then there's a small, medium, and large sized plush. The one I'm going to show you is a large size plush because I thought among the plush sizes, he looks the most cute. Is that a word? He looks the cutest as a large sized plush. Look at his eyes. He's like a baby. Oh my gosh. Pooh Bear's eyes are like ginormous here, which makes him look especially adorable in my opinion. There's something so particularly endearing about this Pooh Bear. Aside from the fact that he's really pink, everything about him is pink, he also has little flowers of sakura that are decorating the top of his head. These smaller plush versions have closer to the ears here, and they are essentially in the same pose with the hands drawn in together, and they're kind of under his chin. I think that's what makes it endearing, that pose. It touches all the nice, warm, fluffy parts of your heart. The only thing that's really keeping me from getting this plush right now is because it's quite high, the price tag. So I will be stocking this until it gets discounted, which is about a month or two later, where it will definitely get down to like the 50% price cut. And I will be crossing my fingers and hoping that I can get to one fast enough before it sells out. This is a fragrance pouch, and it is Sakura scented, and what I like about this is that it comes with a hanger or like a hook where you can just prop it up on a frame or a pole or anywhere really. It's quite portable because of that, and I think it's a nice touch for, you know, fragrance pouches. And then we have this umbrella. The entire body of the inside of the frame of the umbrella has all sakura patterns around it, and it features Pooh and Piglet in one of the triangles. The last thing I want to point out is Tsum Tsum. Yes, they released Tsum Tsum Sakura. I think they also did that last year, but in the recent years, what they've been doing is not releasing it as individual sums as they have this year. Instead, they've been releasing it as sets, so like a set of 4. And they're usually wrapped up in like a bigger plush sort of thing, like a house or a tree. So it's been a while to see like individual sums for the Sakura merch line. And they released 8 different characters this time. From left to right and top to bottom, we'll start off with Chip, Dale, Pooh, Piglet, and on the bottom is Daisy, Donald, Mickey, and Minnie. I will point out a few unique characteristics between some of the sums. Take for example, Pooh Bear. He comes with a leaf. This leaf is actually detachable. Think of it as sort of like a decorative accessory. You can also take that off or put it on or change the way it looks. And not only Pooh comes with this leaf, but also Chip, Dale, and Piglet. The other sums, Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Daisy, don't come with this leaf, but they do come with a lot more, like maybe Sakura that are scattered throughout their body, I want to say. And they have a lot more shades of like the darker pink compared to the lighter pink that is of like Pooh and Piglet and Chip and Dale. What I especially want to point out for the ducks is that they have Sakura on their butts. Duck butts are the best. Add a Sakura on it, it makes it even better. I will just pull out Donald over here because I got him from a recent haul from the Disney store. I will just quickly show you his duck butt. It's so cute. Aren't they the best? So yeah, I featured him in another haul video, which I will be linking in the description, so you can check that out. And as for Mickey and Minnie, what's special about them is that the ends of their tail has a Sakura on it. So both Mickey and Minnie have Sakura at their tails, and both Donald and Daisy, since they don't have tails, is just pretty much stuck to their butt. Oh, I wanted to point out earlier that the release date for this merchandise is different. The Disney Store merch has already been released. I believe it has been since like pretty much the second week of January. It's quite early. While the Tokyo Disney Sakura merch will be available from January 31st. And with that, I think that's all you'll need to know about the Sakura merchandise lineup at Tokyo Disney Resort and the Japan Disney Store. I hope this video will enhance your visit at either the park or the store. And if you'd like to support me, a thumbs up is always appreciated, and I hope you'll consider subscribing and hitting that bell. Thanks so much for sharing your time with me, and I'll see you in the next video.